Hey everyone, why'd I care again? This time with Game 3 of a Best of 3 series from the WCS Season 2 Europe Group H action. I'm sorry, I believe it's Group G action. Anyways, G and H are very close to each other. But anyways, this time on Neoplanet S, we've got spawning in the top right as the Red Terran and winner of Game 2 to even up the series. We got Team Millennium's Forgg. And his opponents spawning in the bottom left as the Blue Zerg, representing Team Mouse Sports. We've got Vortix. So Forgg was able to even out the series in the previous game and is now going down to the last game of the series, Game 3. Forgg won the last game convincingly, beating Vortix basically at every encounter during the game. There was a lot of Marine deaths, and it looked like Vortix might be able to come back at a certain point in the game, but he wasn't able to. He had a lot of Mutilas, but he wasn't able to harass the SCV line, and I think that really hurt Vortix's chances of winning that game. We'll have to see in Game 3 who's going to come out on top. We do have an early drone being sent out by Vortix. Looks like he's going to be going for the hatchery at his natural. We also have an early SCV from Forgg. We also don't have a building out for Forgg, so it looks like he's going for 14cc on the low ground. And this is really dangerous because this drone, this scouting drone, is going to be able to pick away at this SCV. And as the command center is put down, now Forgg is going to have to pull off 2 SCVs to deal with this drone. I've been saying this for a long time. Forgg doesn't have great micro either. That SCV does actually die to the drone. And now Forgg is behind. His own SCV is causing some havoc, but not really doing anything really that important. Losing that SCV is annoying. Not only that, but also having to pull off those 2 more SCVs off the mineral line. He's also losing mining time on that command center. So great control by Vortix. So Vortix is definitely in the lead now. But not only that, because Forgg is committed to the command center on the low ground, he's going to have to get a bunker up. He's going to have to build Marines. He can't go extra greedy. He can't build a 6 or 7 minute third command center, or it will be very difficult for him because he needs to focus on defense. Otherwise, this game might be over very quickly because Vortix now has a lot of options. He can either go for a third hatchery, a quick third hatchery for himself, or he can go for a 2-base timing. And like I said, for Forgg, his options are limited. He's been scouted out. His command center has been delayed quite a bit. He's also lost an SCV and also lost a lot of mining time. So even though here it only shows 50 minerals lost, you can actually say it's quite a bit more. It might be 100 or 150. It's actually quite a bit more. So Forgg is substantially behind. He's going to have to do a lot of damage, I think, in the next few moments to get back in this game. So either he's going to have to send a small hit squad of Marines and clean up some drones. Otherwise, he's just going to be playing behind the entire game. He's already down by 10 supply to his opponent. The bunker's not up yet either. Another SCV does go down, and we only have a lone Marine here. Going to be supported by another Marine, quickly reinforcing this position. But losing those 2 SCVs is really, really a big bummer for Forgg. Vortix must be smiling. Everything is going his way. As long as he plays pretty standard, he can probably take the game. He's got both extractors up now. And he hasn't opted for a really fast third hatchery as of yet. And he is using a lot of those eggs for drones, so he should be going for a third hatchery. That would be my suspicion. Now Forgg is trying to get that factory up. He's probably going to plop that down once the barracks has done that reactor and then start pumping out Hellions to try and regain map control. Because right now he's kind of hemmed into his base. All he can see is basically just outside his front door. He doesn't have anything else around. And that's because he's in such a weak position. He can't afford to really have scouts. And he's supply blocked as well for a few moments. The Hellions will be coming out very soon, excuse me. Now we do have a Baneling's nest being formed as well as a Roach Warren. So this is notifying me that this might be a 2-base Roach Baneling attack, and I think it's going to be very effective. Because Forgg, like I said, has been behind the 8 ball for basically the entire game, and Hellions are not very good against Banelings. nor roaches. And we actually have more reactors on the way for these barracks. So unless 4GG is able to spot that roach war and get some marauders up and additional bunkers, he's going to have some problems, I think. As this small group of Zerglings can turn into Banelings at any moment and just roll in here. Now the Banelings are going to disengage off the creep. One evolution chamber is coming up. Zergling speed is almost finished. Now 4GG has started stim pack, and he really needs that stim to finish. He also needs his reactors to finish on those barracks so he can start pumping out more and more units. Now it looks like the Hellions are going through the middle of the map, and they are going to say hi to a whole bunch of roaches. And 4GG needs to plop down a bunch of bunkers. I don't think these bunkers are going to finish. It takes 45 seconds to build bunkers, I believe. And these bunkers are not even going to be half finished, it looks like, before the roaches get there. And this is a huge problem. We've also got a whole bunch of Banelings behind this incoming attack. We've got 7 Banelings. And that lone bunker is going to be finished in a matter of moments. The SCVs are now pulled off the line. The Hellions are fighting valiantly. The SCVs are trying to provide some cover for these Marines and the Hellions. Remember, Stimpack is only half finished, but we got so many roaches there. Banelings get a great connection, able to finish off a few SCVs. And now the roaches are at the front door. They're up the ramp, and now the production facility is all under attack. The Widowmine is able to kill 1 roach, but not much more. Now the Widowmine does activate again, able to kill quite a few units, but unfortunately we need a lot more Widowmine connections if 4GG is going to be able to survive this barrage. We've got so many roaches up the ramp, the SCVs have all been pulled off. Only mules mining currently, and it looks like 4GG will be able to finish off this attack, but he's lost a lot of SCVs. He's lost 25 up to this point. Zerglings are still harassing the natural, and even though you have to remember that Vortix did lose a lot of units, he does have his 3rd base up, and he also hasn't lost so many miners. We only have 20 miners for 4GG compared to the 36 for Vortix. So Vortix is really ahead economically. Now supplies are fairly even, but 4GG needs to make something happen here. If he turtles even more, he's just going to fall further and further back in this game. He's going to have to make something happen here. I don't think that he can rest on his laurels. Evolution Chamber is almost done for Vortix. He's getting more and more Banelings as well, but it looks like 4GG is going to be entrenching himself in this position. But I don't think this is going to work out. I don't really believe that an attack by 4GG would be that successful, but I really feel like he doesn't have a lot of options, simply because if he waits, he's going to lose the game, simply because Vortix is just going to have too much of an economy going. So 4GG is going to be moving across the map down the south route. Now the creep spread isn't that close to 4GG's base yet, so he does have some element of surprise, but 4GG needs this attack to do significant damage here. And with all these Banelings, he has to be very careful. No combat shields, but at least he does have stim, able to clean up a couple creep tumors. And that is important. That's going to make those Zerg units a lot slower if that creep ever recedes. Now remember, creep does not instantly recede, so this is going to take a while. Great baiting by Vortix, just moving into the Widow Mines. Able to activate the Widow Mines for 1 low cost, but we do have a drop in the main base with 3 medevacs. Unfortunately, 4GG is not going to be able to do much damage. The Zerglings are there immediately, and they're going to force the medevacs to boost away. Actually, 4GG is going to save the boost. He's not going to use it just yet. He is going to unload just outside that base. Remember, Vortix does have 3 bases, and 4GG is down by about 15 supply, so he's really, really trying to push. He needs to make something happen here. Another scan does go down, cleaning up another few creep tumors. The Banelings are getting chewed up. Now the Zerglings are trying to get us around. They're trying to go around to the south side. The Marines and Marauders are chewing up a lot of those Zerglings. And now that Evolution Chamber is under attack, now we do have +1 melee weapons already finished for our Zerg player. So 4GG able to stop level 2. That is a good play. +1 Carapace is now under attack. This big squad of Marines and Marauders are now fleeing because there's so many Banelings getting great connections. Unfortunately, the second part was not very good. 4 Banelings for 1 Marauder is not a very good trade for Vortix. Supplies are evening out. The Queen does go down. Now we do have Stimming Marines reinforcing from the north side, but I'm not sure why on the north. Banelings get awesome connections here right by the hatchery, and now 4GG is going to have to retreat. 4GG is now attacking the 3rd base, able to take down that 1 Queen, but there are no medevacs reinforcing these Marines, so they will fall very easily. We do have another attack happening at the south side of the map. 4GG is trying to recollect his units here, but unfortunately his supply lead has now dropped, and he is now down by about 10 supply compared to his blue Zerg opponent. So Vortix has been able to hold it off. He's also been able to get +1 carapace upgrades while all of this has been going on, and we still don't have any engineering bays in place for 4GG. So for the rest of the game, it looks like 4GG is going to be behind in upgrades unless something very strange happens. And also, you have to remember, he's trying to make something happen with 0-0 against 1-1, and 1 armor is really big against stimmed Marines. That DPS just plummets a lot. So the Marines are engaged on creep. The Banelings get awesome connections, able to kill a whole bunch of Marines, and 4GG is going to have to tap out here. So Vortix able to hold off, get the 1-1 upgrades, and I think what was really key, just in the last few minutes anyways, I think at the beginning when 4GG went for that command center at the natural, and he saw the drone there, or maybe he didn't, it was just slightly out of vision, and then he plopped down that CC at the same time that drone was there. That was a big problem. Now, if 4GG put the command center on the high ground and blocked it off with another supply depot, that drone can't get in there. And that would have gave 4GG quite a few more minerals, maybe 100, 150 more minerals. He wouldn't have lost that SEV, and then the game would have been fairly even at that point. But once he lost that SEV, he pulled 2 more off the line, and he had the micro constantly. He was losing construction time on that command center. And he wasn't able to focus on his game as much. So Vortix had a small lead at the beginning of the game, and he just rode that momentum all the way through. And then at the end here with the double evolution chamber, 4GG was able to stop level 2 upgrades for melee attacks, but not the +1 carapace upgrade. And once that level 1 carapace upgrade finished, I think that is what was the finishing blow to 4GG's plan, because 0-0 Marines stimmed are not that good against 1-1 Zerglings and Banelings just do so much damage to Marines, especially when they're tight. And I've noticed this for all the games. The way 4GG reinforces is he likes to stim his Marines. See, you take a look at this Marine. He's already lost 10 life. So basically, once the Marines come out, he likes to stim them across the map. Now, I understand you want your reinforcements to join you as quickly as possible, but having Marines that have already lost 20 or 30 life before they engage in battle is very risky as well. Sometimes it's better just to retreat, recollect your units somewhere maybe in the middle between the 2 bases, and then engage as a full attack force. But anyways, both players played very well. Vortix just a little bit better, and he's able to pull up with the 2-1 victory in this series, and I hope to see you guys next time.